Hello, Shanti.
Good evening. Good evening.
Welcome.
Shanti, good evening.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Good evening.
Om Shanti. Hope everyone is doing well. Today we thought to explore the subject of moving beyond negativity bias. Now, in Sunday's message, this theme came up to transform the negative attitude into positive attitude, right? And we all know that by default, if we don't make effort to create a positive thought, by default, we automatically get a negative thought, or our attitude generally towards life it takes effort to be positive all the time, right? And so in psychology, this term is called negativity bias. Right? We are, as human beings, we're always tilted or attracted, fascinated more towards the negative. Right? So it's like our attention always goes towards the negative. There might be a lot of positives happening in our life, but even if there is one negative, our attention will go there. So today we'll try and explore what it really means, right? And how does it impact our life, right? Why does it happen? What is there that always makes us think in a negative way towards any situation? And then we'll see what effort we can make to come out of it, to identify it and come. So we'll look into this today. Okay, we'll say, what is negativity bias? Negativity bias makes us subconsciously give more psychological significance to negative experiences than positive ones of same intensity, affecting our behavior. So there may be positive things happening of the same intensity, but our attention or we give more importance to something that is negative. So in this image, right, so there is a lot of good that is happening. There is one bad, but this person is just zooming into that bad, right? And he's feeling that things are definitely not good today, right? Things are not definitely good today. Now he has a friend also. So that friend says, "Oh, brain, look towards the positive." But then he says, "Not now. Can't you see I'm busy?" Right? So even if we try to bring our attention to the good, but then because this sanskar is so firm, right? We say, no, right now I am busy. I'm busy because I need to fix something that is not right. So my focus is on something that is not right. So this is a biased attitude, a biased behavior, right? We're not able to pay attention to the good, always on the bad. And we've all experienced this, right? We can all experience this. For example, right, there is a lot of positive, but still this person is still not sure whether, everything is good or not, right? But if there is one negative, the person says, "Oh, it's true. I am a failure," right? And we can all understand that's true. Right? And let's say I have 100 positive comments and I have 5 negative comments, and my thoughts go towards those negative comments. Right? not able to hold on to the positive side, right? I'm always holding on to the negative side. Mhm. Let us take a few examples, right? So we all have examples from our life. These are, the first example is news consumption. People are more likely to click on and remember negative news headlines than positive ones. And that's why what kind of news is increasing in the world today? Negative.
There is market for that.
Yeah, there is a market, right? And this one did this, that, right? Any negative, even in if we think even in politics, right? The opponent will try to blame the other party, will try to create a negative image of the other party, because people tend to believe more on the negative. If they just talk about what positive they have done, people may not even remember that. But so that's what, that's the psychology behind it. Another example is feedback and reviews. A simple negative review can deter potential customers more than multiple positive reviews can attract them. Right? So when we buy things on Amazon also, we look at reviews. And if there are 5 positive reviews, but 1 negative review, we'll remember that more, right? And even when we are, let's say at work, we are given some positive feedback and a negative feedback. But a negative feedback will influence us more, right? Let us take another example. Let's say, so it says, remember negative incidents. Let's say you are hiking with friends. While enjoying the scenery, you suddenly see a rattlesnake. सांप दिखाई दिया. The snake immediately slithers away, यानी चला जाता है. However, when asked about the hike later, you remember the snake incident more vividly than the beautiful scenery. Right? वो तो भले कुछ सेकंड के लिए है, and scenery we have enjoyed for a few hours, but still I remember that snake incident. I'll say, or there's a, there was a snake there. So we tend to remember those negative incidents more. Another example is judgment of character. We weigh negative information about a person as revealing their true nature. For example, if David was honest with us in 3 of our last 4 meetings and dishonest with us once, we will tend to rate David as a dishonest person. Right? He was honest 3 times, but we are not saying he is honest. He was dishonest just once, but we say, oh, he's a dishonest person, right? And, if you look at a lot of different examples from our own life, we can really, understand this, right? and relate to this, that we pay more attention to negative information and input compared to positive. Right. Any other examples anyone wants to share of this negativity bias? Any other example? Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
एक
जी।
क्या होता है कि हर एक की लाइफ में
हम्म,
बहुत सारी मतलब अचीवमेंट्स होती हैं,
हम्म,
बहुत सारी अच्छी बातें होती हैं,
हम्म,
लेकिन उसको वो सब भूल जाएगा,
हाँ,
याद रहेगा खाली
या,
जो कभी 20 साल पहले
हाँ,
उसने ऐसा बोला था,
हम्म,
वो आदमी ठीक नहीं है।
वो तो,
वो कितने अच्छे बोले, नहीं नहीं वो तो है ही ऐसा,
हम्म,
वो अच्छा हो ही नहीं सकता है कभी।
हम्म,
मतलब एक स्टंपिंग,
हम्म,
अच्छे काम की स्टंपिंग नहीं है।
अच्छी काम की. Mhm. That's true. True. Good. Yeah. Right. Good. Right. And many times, like, if I have done a lot of good, but also I've made mistakes, I'll tend to remember the
Everything.
mistakes more, and that is what they will.
मतलब जब भी बोला ना, तुम तो गलत
Yeah,
हो गई.
तुम तो गलत हो. Right, right. And that's what Baba said, like, it's one thing to be informed about something that is happening outside, which is not right, to be knowledgeable about it. But the other thing is to create an opinion about it, or to create a judgment about it, that this person is like this. And Baba said that is what pollutes our attitude. That is what makes our attitude negative, and that we are not able to easily always transform, right? Right. So in psychology, what they say is this: our brain has a negativity bias, which makes it like Velcro for the bad and Teflon for the good. What it means is Velcro is like tape. हाँ, so Velcro से हम चिपका देते हैं. So if there's anything negative, वो जैसे it is like a Velcro. So our brain will just hold on to it. And Teflon is a non-stick coating, right? So it doesn't stick. So it's Teflon for the good. This is the way, the mind works. So we have to learn to take in the positive experiences, weaving them into the fabric of our brains. Right? And that's why, we have all experienced like why we are, on the spiritual path, we spend so much time in just taking in the positive information, revising it again and again, because we know it takes time to really hold on to it, to build a sanskar, whereas the negative information is very easy to, just hold on to it, right? Yeah. And so this is another way to describe this. So if we see the negative experience, if we have a negative experience about something or someone, then we have stress and reaction. Why stress and react? And then that experience of stress and reaction is locked in the memory. So that is what I remember, I hold on to. And then what happens is whatever next thing is happening, because I've already held this in my memory, I see everything from that light. So I search for the next, means that has changed my attitude, right? So I'm looking for negative. Oh, this is not right, that is not right, and that further creates a negative experience. So it's like a loop, right? So negativity, that's where it becomes like a loop, right? Whereas positive experience, it says positive experience flows straight through the brain without recognition. अच्छा है तो चलो अच्छा ही है. We take it for granted, right? But the negatives, and that's why we see Baba's way of teaching is, Baba, first talks so much about positive. You are this, you are this, you are this. We are such beautiful souls, great souls. I love you. And Baba will just, give all the positive. And then even if Baba has to give a correction, Baba will give a very positive, way of giving it, so that we don't, because even one thing negative, we just hold on to it, right? And if we see body consciousness or Dehe Abhiman, it's actually this, right? Our brain is geared towards noticing positive and experiencing negative, right? And so to make our attitude positive, we need, right? Yes.
एक बच्चों ने कहानी सुनी थी, छोटी सी कहानी. दो चींटियां थी. एक चींटी चींटी के पहाड़, चीनी के पहाड़ पर रहती थी, और एक चींटी नमक के पहाड़. तो नमक के पहाड़ वाली चींटी उसको बोली, मैं तुम्हारे पहाड़ पर आना चाहती हूँ. बोले आओ. अब वो पूरे घूमते रहे, बाद में बोलते अरे सब तो यहाँ तो नमक ही है, चीनी कहाँ है? तो बोलते चीनी का पहाड़ है. तो बोले अपना मुंह दिखाओ. मुंह में नमक की डेली रखी हुई थी.
Okay. So outside everything is sweet, but मुंह में उसके ये है. हाँ, very nice. तो इस वजह से she is only noticing the
वो नमक ही लग रहा है
negative.
मीठा खाली नमक
Yeah, she's eating positive, but then she's feeling negative. Good, very nice, nice. So you talked about ant, and we will also talk about ant. You know the full form of ant? What is the full form of ant? Anyone? Full form of ant?
ऑलवेज नेगेटिव
Yeah, so it's called automatic
अच्छा
negative thoughts. It's called ANT, automatic negative thoughts. So our mind is, right, always, right, all these thoughts, and he's always putting me down. I won't get this done on time. I just won't try. You'll never listen to me. Nobody could love me. You know, all those, I'm a failure. All these thoughts, like ants, right? So it's called automatic negative thoughts. So if we just leave our mind just like that, our mind will go into this, yeah, this spiral, right, of eating negative thoughts. Right. So we'll look into one little story, and then we'll try to understand this a little bit better. Right? Okay. Mhm.
One day, as Chef David was cooking up something scrumptious for lunch, his daughter walked into the kitchen with something on her mind. "What's wrong?" the father asked.
School is just so hard. Making friends is impossible. I don't think I'll ever make it through 4th grade.
Her dad smiled and took out 3 pots. He filled them with water and placed them on the fire. Once the 3 pots began to boil, he placed potatoes into one pot, eggs into the second pot, and poured coffee beans into the third pot.
Dad, what are you doing?
Patience, sweetheart, patience. After 20 minutes, he took the potatoes out of the pot and placed them on a plate. He did the same with the eggs, and then he poured the coffee into a mug. So, what do you see?
Potato, eggs, and coffee.
Look closer. The potatoes, the eggs, and the beans each faced the same adversity, boiling water. However, each one of them reacted differently. The potato went in strong, hard, and unrelenting, but in the boiling water became soft and weak. The egg was fragile, with the thin outer shell protecting its liquid interior until it was placed in the boiling water. Then it became hard. However, the coffee beans were unique. After they were exposed to the hot boiling water, they changed it and created something new. "Which are you?" he asked his daughter. "When adversity knocks on your door, how do you respond? Are you a potato, an egg, or a coffee bean?" In life, things happen around us, things happen to us, but what truly matters is what happens within us. Which one are you?
So who am I? It says am I a potato? Am I an egg? Or am I coffee? A simple story, but quite meaningful, I thought. Right. So what happens to a potato? When a potato goes in the boiling water, what happens to it?
It becomes soft.
It becomes soft. So it loses, in a way, its strength. And an egg, what happens to an egg when it goes into the boiling water?
fragile,
becomes
become
and
hard.
becomes hard. And the coffee, instead of it changing, coffee changes the water. Right? And so again, it's all about the attitude that I hold on to that determines, the experience that I have. Right. Okay. So let's see what is the cause of negativity. Why do we have a negativity bias? What is the reason? So the main reason is this. Negativity bias is caused by an innate tendency to look for danger in our environment. And another term that we can relate with this is we called what kind of instinct? It's called. It's always looking for dangers. What is it called? Insecurity and uncertainty. Right. And what else? Sometimes it's also called the survival instinct. The survival instinct. So we're always looking for our own survival. And so why our thoughts are going towards negative is we want to safeguard ourselves. Right? We don't want it to happen again, right? Isn't it? And that's where we want to make sure it doesn't happen. And then we are, creating, making a small thing into big. And that's where our attitude then becomes negative, right? And so again, when we have a lot of insecurity within, and insecurity, the more we are conscious of the role, the more we identify ourselves with the role, we become insecure. That's what the role does. Because, we will be affected by the temporary highs and lows happening in the real world. And that this feeling of insecurity, automatically creates this attitude of like looking for dangers, looking for threats. Right? And what happens is when we see everything and everyone as a threat, then, even our physical body, there is a hormonal response to it. That is the stress hormone. Right? And that's why we feel stressed out, because we are seeing everything around us as something which is not right, something which is not good, something that may impact me like a danger, right? And that's why we, also, hear these words. Do I see everything as a threat or as an, what is the opposite of threat? Opportunity. Right. Do I see? So it's like, it depends on my choice. My choice. What do I choose? Right. Do I choose negative or do I choose the positive? Right. And that's where, when our mind holds on to this eternal wisdom, then I have a choice whether to, and Baba always says, whether to choose living in the Dukhdham or to choose to live in the Sukhdham. Yeah. To live in the Shantidham or Sukhdham. That's my choice, right? And so, again, through the spiritual wisdom, Baba is giving us this, or Baba is empowering our choices, right? So when faced with any situation, then when I take a step back a moment, and then I can go back and then say, okay, what choice do I make in this situation? And depending on the choice I make, that's how my life becomes. So there is a nice quote around it. It says, attitude is a choice, happiness is a choice, optimism is a choice, kindness is a choice, giving is a choice, respect is a choice. Whatever choice you make makes you. Choose wisely. Whatever choice you make makes you. So who I am, it depends on what kind of choices I've made in my life. Right? And so when my choices, and then we can say choices, decisions, everything. So when it is based on the eternal wisdom and security of the soul, not feeling the need that, I need anything external, then the soul is actually able to make the right choice to choose wisely. So let's watch a little story around this, of how our choices are so important and they impact our state of being.
So this is the story of a manager of a restaurant in America. Let's call him Jerry. So Jerry is always in a good mood and always has something positive to say. When someone would ask him how he was doing, he would always reply, "If I were any better, I would be twins." And many of the waiters at his restaurant quit their jobs when he changed jobs. They would follow him around from restaurant to restaurant. The reason the waiters followed Jerry was because of his attitude. He was a natural motivator. If an employee was having a bad day, Jerry was always there, telling the employee how to look on the positive side of the situation. Seeing his style really made me curious, so one day I went up to Jerry and asked him, "I don't get it. No one can be a positive person all of the time. How do you do it?" And Jerry replied, "Each morning I wake up and I say to myself, I have two choices today. I can choose to be in a good mood, or I can choose to be in a bad mood. I always choose to be in a good mood. Each time something bad happens, I can choose to be a victim, or I can choose to learn from it. I always choose to learn from it. Every time someone comes to me complaining, I can choose to accept their complaining, or I can point out the positive side of life. I always choose the positive side of life." "But it's not always that easy," I protested. "Yes, it is," Jerry said. "Life is all about choices. When you cut away all the junk, every situation is a choice. You choose how you react to situations. You choose how people will affect your mood. You choose to be in a good mood or bad mood. It's your choice how to live your life." Several years later, I heard that Jerry accidentally did something you are never supposed to do in the restaurant business in New York. He left the back door of his restaurant open one morning and was robbed by 3 armed men. While trying to open the safe, his hand, shaking from nervousness, slipped off the combination. The robbers panicked and shot him. Luckily, Jerry was found quickly and was rushed to the hospital. After 18 hours of surgery and weeks of intensive care, Jerry was released from the hospital with fragments of the bullets still in his body. I saw Jerry about 6 months after the accident. When I asked him how he was, he replied, "If I were any better, I would be twins. Want to see my scars?" I declined to see his wounds, but did ask him what had gone through his mind as the robbery took place. "The first thing that went through my mind was that I should have locked the back door," Jerry replied. "Then, after they shot me, as I lay on the floor, I remembered that I had two choices. I could choose to live or choose to die. I chose to live." "Weren't you scared?" I asked. Jerry continued, "The paramedics were great. They kept telling me I was going to be fine. But when they wheeled me into the emergency room, and I saw the expressions on the faces of the doctors and nurses, I got really scared. In their eyes I could read, 'He is a dead man.' I knew I needed to take action." "So what did you do?" I asked. "Well, there was a big nurse shouting questions at me," said Jerry. "She asked if I was allergic to anything. Yes, I replied. The doctors and nurses stopped working as they waited for my reply. I took a deep breath and yelled, 'Bullets!' Over their laughter, I told them I am choosing to live. Please operate on me, as if I am alive, not dead." Jerry lived thanks to the skill of his doctors, but also because of his amazing attitude. You see, in life, in your life, I learned from him that day that every day you have the choice to either enjoy your life or to hate it. The only thing that is truly yours, that no one can control or take from you, is your attitude. So if you can take care of that, everything else in life becomes much easier. This was a motivational story read by Dare to Do Motivation.
Thank you, Saurabh. A beautiful motivational story.
Thank you. Yeah, I really liked towards the end, right? When he was asked, "Are you allergic to anything?" And he just made it very light. He said, "Yes, I'm allergic to bullets." And even in that situation, his attitude is still positive. Because he said, I'm choosing to live, not to die. Right? So it's about the choice that I make, right? And that's what determines my attitude. Right. 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 You know, we used to do a retreat. The title was Choose, Change, and Become. So the choices that we make, that is what makes us change. And that's how we then become. Right. So let's do this, a very simple example about choices and how we can change our thought process. So let's take an example of a negative thought and how to change it. So let's say what happened, Emma, my best friend, did not talk to me like she normally does. मेरा सबसे अच्छा दोस्त मुझसे वैसे बात नहीं कर रहा जैसे वो जनरली करता है. So the thought is, what the thought I get, I thought Emma hasn't talked to me much this week. She must be mad at me. ऐसा हमें लगेगा कि क्यों नहीं बात किया, शायद कोई प्रॉब्लम है, मुझसे दुखी है. Though what is the feeling I get? I feel hurt and sad. Right? A simple example. Now how I can change, right? So new thought, I can create a choice. I say Emma could be upset with me, but maybe not. I don't know. है ना? हो भी सकती है, नहीं भी हो सकती, हमें तो पता नहीं. So the new feeling that comes with it, concerned that my friend may be upset, but I'm not feeling sad like I did before. I still be concerned कि हाँ वो शायद परेशान है, पर मुझे दुख नहीं होगा, है ना? अच्छा, there is another thought I can create, which is Emma is probably busy with school or something. शायद वो busy है. New feeling disappointed that she hasn't spoken to me, but I understand. Right? कि हाँ मुझे लग रहा है कि नहीं बात की, लेकिन मैं I can understand. Another way is maybe Emma is upset about something that has nothing to do with me. हो सकता है उसके लाइफ में कुछ और चल रहा हो और मेरे से उसका कोई लिंक नहीं है. New feeling worried about Emma's feelings. है ना? So I'm not then worried about myself. Then my focus goes towards Emma. So this is how it's like, even a negative thought comes, but I am not giving it a lot of attention. Right? I'm consciously able to create a positive thought in that situation. Right? And that's what it will change, my experience. Right? So this is how, that's what Baba was explaining, especially in relationships. Right? If something happens, we suddenly create this. कि शायद वो ऐसा होगा. There's the words are imagination and assumption. Right? We imagine something, we assume something, and that's how we create a reality based on that. And that is a negative version, right? And that's where we have to change it to make it positive. Right? Right. And that's why Baba says that you have to become, Baba gave the example of one profession. What was the profession? That we shouldn't become of the others. Right?
Judging others.
Judge.
We should not judge others. We should become lawyers for others and judge for ourselves. And that is a very easy way not to hold anything negative, right, about anyone. Right? Baba said, even if there is one person, right, for whom we have a negative feeling, it won't allow me to then connect with the source, God, because that will always interfere, in my connection with God. It will interfere in my meditation, right? And that's why it is so important to, make that effort. Just get rid of anything that I may be holding on to, right? Right. They say, or there's a fun fact about the brain or the mind. It says it takes 5 positive things to outweigh a single negative thing. Because the mind creates, it holds on to the negative. It takes 5 positive things to outweigh a single negative thing. So we have to be very careful, right? And always we have to be positive, right? So sometimes what happens is we may be saying that I'm positive. We may be even connecting to God, but we may not be, having belief in that positivity, right? So we need to also have belief in that positive energy. So let's watch another story. And this is another story about how the power of positivity is important, in our life.
Upon a time, a farmer lived with his family in a small village. It was a scorching summer, and not even a single drop of rain had fallen for many months. Due to the drought, their crops were withering away. The entire village was deeply saddened. Everyone was eagerly waiting for rain, but the rain never came. Everyone started to lose hope. One day, all the villagers decided to pray simultaneously at their homes at a fixed time. At the agreed upon time, the farmer his wife, and their 6-year-old daughter gathered to pray. The farmer sat with folded hands, with his wife and daughter beside him. In a hoarse voice, hiding his tears, he prayed, "Oh Lord, I have heard that you listen to your children's prayers. Our crops are dying. Please send rain soon so that we can survive." Each family member prayed in their own way. The little girl also prayed to God, saying, "Oh Lord, my father is very upset. You can do everything. Please make it rain in our village." After some time, when the prayer was over, the farmer got up to leave for his fields. Seeing him leave, the girl asked him, "Where are you going, father?" "I am going to farm to do some work," the farmer replied. The girl quickly ran towards her father and said, "Wait, I will come with you too." She went inside and returned with an umbrella. Seeing the umbrella in her hand, the father asked, "Why did you bring an umbrella? Sun is already gone and it is evening time." The little girl replied, "Father, we have just prayed to God for rain. If we go without an umbrella, we will get wet when it rains." The farmer was stunned after listening to his daughter. He was amazed at his daughter's faith. He looked up at the sky. It was clear and there was no sign of clouds or rain. Then he gazed at his daughter's innocent face. At that moment, he felt a voice inside him saying, "It is good to pray, but more important is to believe that your prayer will be answered, and then act accordingly." The farmer took his daughter in his arms, kissed her on the forehead, and went to the fields holding the umbrella in his hands. And that night, it rained like it had never rained before. The story of the farmer and his little daughter teaches us a vital lesson about belief. Many times in our life, whenever we are going through hard times or adversity, our belief starts to waver and we become hopeless. But in this story, during a severe drought, the entire village prayed for rain, but their hearts were filled with doubt. The little girl, however, brought an umbrella, showing her firm belief that rain would come. Belief is crucial in our lives. It forms a foundation of our dreams and goals. When we start any task with faith in ourselves, a positive outcome is bound to follow. Without belief, our efforts might waver and we could give up too easily. But when we truly believe in something, we are more likely to act in ways that make it happen. Belief drives our actions, and our action leads to results. If we approach our goals with doubt, we might not put in the necessary effort or give up to the obstacle. But with confidence and faith, we become more resilient and persistent, which increases our chances of success. In our life, belief is essential in every aspect. When we are ill and take medicine, it is not just the medicine that heals us, but our belief that the medicine will make us better. Without this belief, even medicine can fail to treat us. Even when we pray, our belief in our prayer plays a crucial role. When we pray with firm conviction, then things start to change as per our wish. The story reminds us that unwavering belief in ourselves, our goals, or our prayers can bring about the results we desire. Belief is not just about hoping for the best, it is about being convinced that the best will happen. Only those who believe in themselves and their dreams achieve their goals. So, believe in yourself and you can achieve anything you set your mind to. Because unwavering belief is the key that unlocks the door to your dreams.
हिंदी में
Yeah, so who would like to translate in Hindi? Naresh Bhai will translate. Yeah.
खूब शांति। एक बार गांव में बहुत अकाल पड़ा हुआ था, बारिश नहीं हो रही थी बहुत दिन से, सारी फसल सूख गई थी, सबको लग रहा अकाल पड़ेगा, सब भूखे मरेंगे। तो सबने डिसाइड किया हम भगवान की प्रार्थना करते हैं। तो सारा गांव बैठ गया और एक घर में किसान, उसकी पत्नी और उसकी छोटी बेटी तीनों बैठ के प्रे कर रहे थे। तो तीनों ने प्रे किया अपने अपने ढंग से कि किसी तरह मतलब बारिश हो जाए तो हम लोग ठीक हो जाए। बच्ची बोलती है कि मेरे पिता बहुत अपसेट हैं फादर, तो पूरे गांव में बारिश हो जाए। फिर उसके बाद जब प्रे खत्म हो गया तो फादर ने कहा बाहर निकले घर से। तो बेटी ने पूछा कहाँ जा रहे हो? बोले खेत पर जा रहा हूँ मैं। वो बोले मैं भी आती हूँ। तो वो एक छाता लेके आई। तो फादर ने पूछा कि ये छाता क्यों लाए हो? वो तो धूप नहीं है, शाम में होगी। तो बोलते हमने भी प्रे किया है ना, तो बारिश में तो हम भीग जाएंगे, इसलिए छाता लेके आए हूँ मैं। तो उसने पिताजी उसको गोद में ले लिया और छाता लेके चला। तो मतलब जब लौट रात को बारिश बहुत तेज हुई, बहुत ज्यादा बारिश हो गई। तो वही मोरल्स बताते हैं कि जो प्रे तो सब करते हैं, लेकिन क्योंकि इस बच्चे को बिलीफ था, विश्वास था कि होगा, तो इसलिए बारिश हुई। तो हमें अगर विश्वास रखें तो काम प्रे करते हैं, कोशिश करते हैं, विश्वास अगर नहीं है तो जब विश्वास नहीं तो हमारे एफर्ट्स भी आधे रह जाते हैं।
Nice. Yeah. Simple story, but quite meaningful, I felt. And that's where, to be positive, sometimes we may not be able to see the positive side at that moment, but to still have the belief. And then Baba teaches us, to have faith in drama, right? Everything is happening for good. Everything will be good. To feel in the self, in God, in drama. And it's a very important factor in transforming our negative attitude to positive attitude. So doubt brings negativity and faith brings positivity. Right. Does it, so maybe we'll just share one last slide over here, and talked about the power of choice. And this is the meter, right, where I know where my power of choice is. So it says, have to, need to, choose to, want to. मतलब I have to do something, मुझे करना है। तो इसका मतलब है कि मेरी पावर ऑफ चॉइस लो है। I need to do something, अगर नहीं करूँगा तो प्रॉब्लम है। तो it's medium. I choose to do something, that is high, and I want to do something, that's maximum. Right? So even in spirituality, in our efforts, one thing is I have to do, right? One thing is I need to do. One thing is I choose to do, and the other is I want to do. And when I want to do something, right, that carries that extra force of the power of positivity, the power of choice. And then anything negative, any cloud will just disappear. So I have to ask myself, do I really want this spiritual life? Do I really want or not? And then I have to recalibrate my intention, my choice. And that's why Baba says, for having a good experience, we need, what do we need? Behad ka?
Sannyas.
Vairagya, sannyas, right? I'm interested in anything else. I'm just interested in this. I want to come closer to God. I want to be more soul conscious. That's what makes me happy. Right? So when I have that, then nothing negative, even a negative sanskar will not come in the way. Right? I can easily just cross any obstacle that I have. So even though there is a negativity bias, but I'll be able to move beyond it. अच्छा, ओम शांति।
जो पहली स्टोरी थी उसका भी हिंदी में,
हाँ, जो पहली स्टोरी थी उसका हिंदी में,
जेरी वाला था।
हाँ, जो जेरी वाली स्टोरी थी, कौन बताएंगे?
जूम पे देखो।
Zoom पे anyone wants to translate the story of Cherry in Hindi? So, yes.
Om Shanti. I can try,
Shanti.
Saurabh.
Yes, please.
ये एक स्टोरी जेरी एक रेस्टोरेंट में काम करते थे, उनके बारे में थी, जो बहुत पॉजिटिव एटीट्यूड रखते थे। तो वो जब रेस्टोरेंट चेंज भी करते थे तो उनके साथ काम करने वाले भी उनके साथ ही चले जाते थे, क्योंकि वो उनके एटीट्यूड से बहुत भाविक थे। तो वो उनको जब पूछा कि क्या कारण है, तो वो कहते रोज सुबह उठता हूँ तो मेरे पास 2 चॉइसेस होती हैं कि एक है कि टू बी हैप्पी, टू मेक इट अच्छा दिन जाएगा, दूसरा थोड़ा बुरा जाएगा। ये हमारी चॉइस है कि हमने कैसा दिन व्यतीत करना है। एंड सो एक दिन वो रेस्टोरेंट में पीछे का दरवाजा बंद करना भूल गए और चोर आ गए। तो जो पहला थॉट जो उनको आया कि मेरे को पीछे का दरवाजा बंद करना चाहिए था, और वो चोरों ने उनको शूट किया तो वो जमीन पे गिर गए। तो उनको हॉस्पिटल रश किया गया इमरजेंसी में, ऑपरेशन थिएटर में। पर वो कह रहे थे कि वो डॉक्टर्स और नर्सेस के चेहरा देखकर उनको ऐसे लग रहा था कि उनको लग रहा है कि इट्स अ डेड मैन जिनको वो व्हील कर रहे हैं। बट जब उनको पूछा कि आर यू एलर्जिक, एक नर्स ने पूछा आर यू एलर्जिक टू एनीथिंग, तो उसने तुरंत जवाब दिया यस। तो अब डॉक्टर्स और नर्सेस एकदम चौंक गए कि व्हाट इज ही एलर्जिक टू। ही सेड बुलेट्स, मैं बुलेट से एलर्जिक हूँ। सो वो वातावरण उन्होंने इतना लाइट कर दिया। एंड ही सेड कि आई वांट टू लिव। तो उन्होंने फिर डॉक्टर से कहा कि आप कैरी ऑन विद सर्जरी। एंड वही जो उनको जो मित्र था जो पूछ रहा था कि हाउ ही सो पॉजिटिव इन हिज लाइफ, तो वो उनको पूछने लगे। तो वो कहता कि वुड यू लाइक टू सी द स्कार्स, तो वो कहता नहीं। और उससे फिर भी यही पूछ रहा था कि मतलब इस इतनी भयानक, जब ऑलमोस्ट मौत सामने थी, तब भी वो कैसे कितना पॉजिटिव रह सकता था, ये एटीट्यूड। तो उसने यानी कहने का भाव यही है कि हम जिंदगी बहुत छोटी है और हर मोमेंट को हमें जीना चाहिए पॉजिटिवली। थैंक यू सौरभ।
Thank you. Very nice. Yeah, very great job. Thank you. Great. Acha, Om Shanti. Anyone would like to share their thoughts?
शांति सौरभ भाई, ये लास्ट वाली जो स्लाइड थी ना, आई वांट टू नो अगेन, वो जो वांट नीड चूज।
Yes. जी।
सौरभ भाई जो डिफरेंट डिफरेंट फेज है वो कैसे इम्पैक्ट करती हैं?
हाँ जी जी। सो आई हैव टू लाइक कई बार हम कोई कार्य कंपल्शन से कर कि आई हैव टू डू समथिंग, मुझे तो करना ही है ना, नहीं करेंगे तो प्रॉब्लम है ना। फिर एक है कि आई नीड टू, मतलब हम देखते हैं इससे मुझे फायदा है तो मुझे
हम्म
करना, आई नीड टू डू इट, है ना। फिर तीसरा आई चूज टू, कि मैंने डिसाइड किया है कि डिटरमिन्ड थॉट है कि मुझे ये फॉलो करना है, आई एम स्टिकिंग टू माई कमिटमेंट, आई चूज टू, आई हैव चोजन टू, so I'm doing it. And the fourth is I want to do it. Like I'm feeling a pull from like a internal urge. Like मुझे
हम्म
करना है, मुझे करना है, right? And so we really want to be on that second, third and fourth, like choose to and want to. Like
okay.
even this spiritual life कहें या this practice of meditation कहें, तो एक तो है कि हमें कहें कि नहीं मुझे तो कर आई हैव टू डू इट, एक थोड़ी एक मजबूरी से, जिससे बाबा कई बार कहते हैं कि मोहब्बत है या मेहनत, है ना, मेहनत। तो और जब मोहब्बत है तो आई वांट टू डू इट, राइट, इट्स समथिंग दैट आई एम रियली लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टू, ऐसा।
हम्म हम्म
So that is the power of choice. So if I am, holding on to I have to, I need to, then कहीं ना कहीं my mind will still entertain a negative thought. यानी कहीं ना कहीं विघ्न आएगा उसमें कि मजबूरी से हम कोई चीज कर रहे हैं, पर अगर हम रियली दिल से कर रहे हैं तो फिर उसमें it won't, I won't feel any negative interruption. I will be filled with the power of positivity to really do it, and I'll see the results in a short time. So,
okay okay
and it's true for any task that people do actually, be it at work, family, anything.
हम्म
Really check where is my meter, like कहाँ पे मेरा intention कहाँ है? Do I really want to do it? Or am I just doing it because others are doing it, Yeah, am I doing it because I need to look good, like that, right? So, yeah.
थैंक यू सौरभ भाई। ओम शांति।
Great. Any other thoughts? Any other thoughts? Anyone would like to share? Yes.
गाँव के बाहर
Hmm.
एक विद्यार्थी बैठा था और एक बालक था,
Hmm.
ऐसे ही शाम को बैठे हुए थे, तो एक आदमी वहां से निकला, तो बोला कि यहाँ कैसे लोग रहते हैं।
Hmm.
तो उसने पूछा कि जहाँ पर है तो वहाँ कैसे लोग?
Hmm.
बोला बहुत खराब लोग हैं, गाली देते रहते हैं, कोई काम नहीं करते, कभी निकलते रहते हैं और बहुत तंग करते हैं। बोले यहाँ भी ऐसे ही है। चला गया। फिर थोड़ी देर बाद एक और आदमी आया,
Hmm.
तो उसने वही सवाल पूछा है कैसे लोग रहते हैं। उसने वही सवाल पूछा उससे कि
हाँ।
आप जहाँ से हो वहाँ कैसे लोग हैं? नहीं, वहाँ बहुत अच्छे लोग हैं, सब एकदम कोऑपरेट करते हैं, सब सहायता करते हैं एक दूसरे की, कोई प्रॉब्लम होने से। बोला यहाँ भी ऐसे लोग हैं। तो वहाँ चलो, अब छोटा बच्चा तो उससे पूछता है कि दादाजी आप झूठ बोलते हो? बोले क्यों? कि पहले गया तो उसको कुछ बोला, दूसरा कुछ बोला, ये तो गलत बात है। बोला ऐसा नहीं है, जो अच्छा है उसको उसे अच्छे मिलेंगे, सब अच्छे लगेंगे, और जो बुरा है उसको सब बुरे लगेंगे। फिर खूब शांत। Okay. Any other final thoughts anyone wants to share? Sure. So thank you for your time and presence. Have a good rest of the evening. Om Shanti. Thank you.
Swarup bhai. Thank you, family. Have a nice evening. Om Shanti.
Thank you,
Om
Vaji.
Shanti.
Family.